Meagan Mermaid, author of the forthcoming book, Mermaid Mystery School, and the forthcoming Oracle deck, the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle deck. And this is your weekly mermaid energy reading for the week of May 27th through June 2nd. And we just had a huge, crazy full moon in Scorpio that happened just over 2 weeks ago. This moon is in Pisces today, so it was 2 weeks ago actually. And it was really intense, and it brought up all of our stuff, all of the stuff that maybe we hadn't been looking at, or maybe we'd been ignoring and wanted to sweep under the rug for just a little bit longer. Well, all that stuff came up to the surface. So you may have noticed changes in your relationships. You may have noticed changes in your drive, or you may have had to overcome some past pain or trauma, or revisit some not so fun things so that you could finally clear that karmic cycle and move forward. So congratulations, we made it through the toughest moon of the year. And we're on to amazing things, and this is a powerful week. The sun is now in Gemini, so the energy is a lot lighter and brighter and happier, and it's all about really learning and growing and figuring out what makes us effective communicators and how can we communicate our message to others. That's really the message of Gemini. Gemini wants to learn as much as possible so that it can teach that information to others, and that's the polarity of Gemini and Sagittarius. So this week, it's a really big week for romance and fated connections. On Wednesday and Thursday, Venus in Taurus is going to be sextile to the North Node in Cancer. So we have this really sensual earth and motherly moon energy that's happening with Taurus and Cancer. And it's really asking us to open to the possibility of all that we desire in our romantic relationships, and stop getting in our own way by believing it's not possible, and also getting clear about what it is that we want in those relationships, and if we're not getting them, how to ask for them or how to move on. So before we begin with the card readings, I have 3 beautiful decks that we're going to be working with today. I have the Romance Angels deck because I work with the Pink Flame of Divine Love, which is all about romance and love and beauty and passion. And then I have the Mermaid Oracle deck because I just love the mermaids, and they have this beautiful, sweet way of delivering the duality in life in a way that's like really palatable for us to understand, and in a playful way. So, and then of course we have the Tarot deck. So let's get started. Before we begin, let's just take a moment to come back to this present moment. So go ahead and close your eyes, and we're gonna invoke the pink flame now. So take a deep breath in, and exhale it out. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in, and exhaling it out. And then taking one final deep breath in, and exhaling it out. Beautiful. So now we're going to do a call and response so that we can invoke the pink flame. So if you're at home and you want to repeat after me, go ahead. And if not, if you're just not into that, that's totally cool. You can just receive it and listen in, or you can fast forward to when we start getting the cards read. So take your time and do what works best for you. So just repeat after me to invoke the pink flame of cosmic divine love. Pink flame of divine love, infuse my heart. Pink flame of divine love, infuse my soul. Pink flame of divine love, infuse my mind. Pink flame of divine love, make me whole. Charge, charge, charge my space with beauty, passion, love, and grace. charge, charge, charge my mind with cosmic love and light divine. And take one final breath in to seal in that infusion of beautiful pink flame energy. And breathe it out. So let's get started with the cards. So I'm gonna choose one card from each deck for Monday and Tuesday, one card from each deck for Wednesday and Thursday, and one card from each deck for the weekend. And then we also have a special Mermaid Empowerment message from my forthcoming Mermaid Empowerment deck. So to get started, I always shuffle and knock on the deck 3 times, and then I like to just see what pops out. Okay, so we have a card from Monday and Tuesday from the Romance Angels. And then we have our Wednesday and Thursday and the weekend. Ooh, this is fun. So now we're gonna choose the cards for the Mermaid Oracle deck. Let's see, same way, knock 3 times to clear those energy, and 3 is a really powerful number. Also, the pink flame is on the 3rd ray of healing, so 3 is really special to me. In fact, I live in apartment 3. How funny is that? Okay, so, whoa, that one jumped right out. And the last card is, oh, okay. So we have one card for the weekend, and then we have a bonus card. So now I like to also always ask the tarot, and this is the traditional rider weight deck. Rider weight deck. I couldn't get that. So the rider weight deck gives a really balanced idea of the lessons for our soul that we're going to be calling in and creating this week in alignment with the stars, and how to move past those in a good way so that we don't have to keep creating those cycles of pain, and we can work in harmony with the universe, because life is actually a game. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when I get to the Mermaid Empowerment message, but these ones I work a little bit differently. So shuffle the cards 3 times, and then I choose with this hand, my left hand, because left is feminine receiving. What do I want to receive? I want to receive 3 beautiful cards from this deck. Cool. Okay. So we're going to start off with Monday and Tuesday. And let's start out with romance, because I love romance. Mermaids are all about love. So, for Monday and Tuesday, we have chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. And it's really beautiful that this is happening right after our waning moon in Pisces. So there's this really sweet energy that's taking place after a lot of that really confronting energy of Scorpio. So it was kind of like we cleared all of this stuff out, and now we're opening to that sweetness of life again. Pisces energy is all about seeing the world through rose-colored glasses and remembering how beautiful things are. And so as we move through that Pisces moon at the beginning of the week on Sunday, we invite in this energy of newness, of a fresh perspective. And by doing so, we're opening the door to that Venus transit that's happening on Wednesday and Thursday, with Venus being sextile to the North Node. So this week is really about fated encounters. It's about connecting with those that we may have had past lives with, or those that are even just from the past in this life, and we have some sort of unfinished business. But it's a good thing, because we're attracting those things that we want in our life. And so the chemistry here is showing that wherever you're at, that's what you're attracting. So if you're in a good spot and you're feeling powerful and amazing, and you're in your goddess energy or in your king energy, and you just feel really good, that's what you're going to be attracting. And if you're not feeling it, and you're feeling a little low, or you're questioning love, or you're questioning if good things can happen for you, you may be mirroring back those types of patterns and limiting beliefs in those relationships that you're having. So if that's happening for you, it's a really easy shift, and just notice it without badgering yourself with drama or craziness because you're in a lower state. It's okay, we're gonna fluctuate. But if you notice that what's being mirrored back to you is not so hot, all you have to do is just choose to shift back into love and just say, I choose love. One of my favorite affirmations is, I'm beautiful and everyone loves me. It's so fun. Like, say it a couple times and tell me that you don't feel better about yourself. Say it a couple times and then walk down the street and see what happens. So there's a really strong chemistry that's happening, and whether it's in a relationship that you're already in or whether you're attracting this new relationship in, just know that there's some type of chemistry here, and it's not just you. A lot of times we question it and, oh, you know, things haven't worked out for me in the past, so how is this going to be any different? But this is just saying, like, don't self-sabotage a new beautiful thing, because whatever you're feeling, that other person is feeling too. So enjoy it. And as we move into the Mermaid Oracle Message, we have sanctuary, privacy, personal space, boundaries, and taboos. And I love how this goes together, because a lot of times, especially in those twin flame relationships or soulmate relationships, we feel this very strong, powerful connection to another being. And it's really easy to want to just forego everything else and only focus on that beautiful attraction because it's really magnetic. And we also have work to do. So this is really about creating boundaries in your life and figuring out how can you invite in this energy and do it in a good way, so you're not ignoring those other priorities that you have. So you're still putting time into your work and your friends and your family. This is a new opportunity where you're creating a new dynamic in being in partnership with another being. So what does it look like? It doesn't have to look like how it used to look. It doesn't have to look like all of the times that it didn't work out. You're creating a new paradigm and a new foundation, so you choose. And this is also saying that this is a time on Monday and Tuesday to really give yourself that same level of love and self-care that you want to give to that romantic partner. Because we want to give our hearts so much, but we can only give what we have in our own hearts. So if we're constantly giving and giving and giving, it's like this cup. And pretty soon, all of the levels of the water in that cup are going to be going lower and lower and lower, and we're not going to have anything left to give. And that is what creates bitterness and resentment and all sorts of not fun dynamics in partnership. So if we start this new dynamic right at the beginning by making sure that whatever we're giving to this other being, we're also giving in equal measure to ourselves, we're gonna save ourselves and this other person a lot of trouble in the long run, because we're gonna be doing the work, so we don't have to create these dramas in order to learn lessons in partnership. We're just gonna be giving to ourselves already, so it's great. So do something really nice for yourself on Monday and Tuesday. Take a bath, watch a movie, but make sure that you're not ignoring your needs. Because what happens here, underneath this, when you're forgetting to do that self-care, that's when your inner child comes in and starts to throw a temper tantrum. And then you could be way up here in something that you're creating, and all of a sudden your inner child just wants to bring you all the way back down and start from the beginning. And it's because we're not listening to them. So listen to your inner child by taking time and space on your own. Whatever you give to others, make sure that you're giving to yourself in equal measure. So love, love, love. Love to yourself and love to others. Oh, and I love this on Monday and Tuesday, more love, because Page of Cups is also a message of love. So it's about really connecting to this very innocent new beginning, whether it's a new beginning in a partnership that you're already in or a new beginning with someone that you've just met recently. There's a lot of love energy here that's showing there's this sweetness, that we can trust this sweetness and we can open our hearts to know that it's okay. It's okay to explore what's happening here, and we don't have to worry that we're gonna get our hearts torn open again. That's the whole thing about being alive. It's like we don't get our hearts broken just so that we can close ourselves off. First the heart breaks, then it soars. So we can be grateful for those previous partners that have shown us those places in ourselves that need more love and need more healing. And we don't have to bring that dynamic into this new thing. Every day is a new day. So even if you've been in a relationship for 20 years, today is a new day, a new dynamic in this relationship. And open up to this message of love. Because honey, you need that love. The world needs love. So that is Monday and Tuesday. Then as we move into Wednesday and Thursday, that's when we're going to be having that very fated connection of Venus being sextile to the North Node. So it's almost like whenever there's any North Node transits, anything that's not in alignment with where we're supposed to be on our divine purpose, the universe kind of comes in and just like moves us a little bit. So sometimes if it's a square or an opposition, it can be a little confronting because it's like, oh, I wasn't supposed to be there. Oh, slap in the face from the universe. This is a really sweet gesture of saying like, hey, like surprise. There's this like whole other option that maybe you didn't know was there. And maybe it's time to explore that because this other thing could be more in alignment than those old ideas that you had about what's possible or the way things need to look. And what happened last weekend is that Mars in Cancer was squaring Chiron in Aries. So we went through a couple days of feeling frustration, of feeling like the things we wanted didn't look the way that we wanted them to. And we almost had to look at that and see like the other side of the picture so that we could have even more gratitude of like this third option. Because we can get so black and white in our thinking that it has to look this way or it has to look that way. And if it's not looking this way, then we get really sad. And if it is looking this way or this way, then we get really scared because it's like, oh, this is good, but is the rug gonna get pulled out from under me or is something gonna happen? And then we start clinging. And so that's what creates samsara or suffering, because either having that fear and attachment to something good and getting too caught up in that thing, or about like having that attachment to fear about not allowing good things in your life. So we really need to find that middle path of accepting and allowing and being in flow. That's another great thing that this Pisces moon of the energy of the week can show us, is that if we're in flow, then we can accept these things that are happening and we don't have to be like planning out the next 20 years of what it's gonna look like. We can just enjoy it and know, hey, we deserve this. Hey, good things are always happening, and the good things aren't attached to a being or a person or a situation. It's because we are in flow, in harmony with ourselves. And then good things just happen in all sorts of many forms. So as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, the card that we have is Worth Waiting For. And it says divine timing is at work in your love life. So I'm hearing the word patience. So on Wednesday and Thursday, don't expect the angels to be knocking at your door and say, hey, here's your love, the love of your life that you've been waiting for. Like, go live happily ever after and create lots of babies and bring high vibration into the world. That could happen, but most likely it's not gonna look like that. Most likely it's gonna be like, oh wow, like I'm really excited about this person, or I'm really interested in this new door that's opening, and I'm also scared. And so what happens is when we start to grow in a really big way, the ego gets really freaked out, and it'll start creating these conversations of, well, what about this or what about that? And the mind tries to be in service to the heart, doing the heart's job of feeling by overanalyzing and thinking, well, if it doesn't look this way yet, then it never can. So we want to just clear that. We want to clear any ideas now, and I'm just putting this little seed into your consciousness so that on Wednesday and Thursday, if those situations or conversations of fear or worry or anxiety or doubt is a big one, if they start to come up in our consciousness, we can just say, thank you, I choose to see love instead. I choose to trust in the divine plan of the universe. I choose to trust in divine love, always, in all ways. So this fated connection, it's definitely happening. And again, it's gonna take some time. So there's some parts that have to be worked out, whether in that person's life, whether it's a job or a move or a relocation or putting behavioral patterns into their life and working through their own stuff, or the same thing on your end. It's almost like the universe is saying, hey, this person is here and you're meeting, but there's still some separate work that you both need to do. And if you can trust that by doing that separate work, like we talked about in the beginning of the week, that self-care, that it's actually bringing you closer together than trying to be in that yearning energy of reaching out for that person rather than focusing on your stuff, then the wait is going to be less time. Because what happens in these very high vibrational soul connections is that when you're with a person that is vibing in that energy of twin flame union, sacred union, it's going to bring up all your stuff. All your stuff. And it can be confronting. And so it's actually a blessing to have that separation and to kind of take it slow. I know for me as a fire sign, it's very difficult to take things slow. I just want to jump right in, and I don't know what moderation means, right? But this is saying it's worth waiting for. So look at the doubts, but choose love instead and focus on that inner work. And the more that you can do that, focus on the love, focus on your inner work, the faster this physical connection and reunion and reconciliation can happen. And so the mermaid message is telepathy. And so it's nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, and mind reading. So again, this is really talking about some sort of sacred partnership that's happening in life and sacred union for you this week. And so in that, there's this telepathic connection where we can actually feel that person beyond words. And so how this relates to what we've been talking about this week about worth waiting for is that that person can feel your frustration. They can feel your anxiety. They can feel your passion and your bliss and your excitement. And so whatever you're doing to fuel your own vibration is going to be beneficial for that other being. And so this is just reminding you, hey, focus your thoughts only on the good things, because it's not even just about you anymore. Even if you haven't called in that sacred partnership in the physical form just yet, already your thoughts are calling and magnetizing those beings that are going to be in supportive of your mission and your purpose in a loving romantic way, because we get to have love and we get to have our divine purpose. And it's all about us being in our own sovereignty first and healing those patterns of codependency that are so ingrained in our culture. So again, if you're feeling it and you're feeling that you're getting stuck in these lower vibrations, forgive yourself. It's a muscle. It's not going to happen overnight, and beating yourself up is not going to move things along. You have to love yourself and you have to trust the situation. And remember, this thing is worth waiting for. This is something really good. So you're worthy of good things. And the tarot card for Wednesday and Thursday is the Five of Pentacles. And I really love this card because a lot of times what we see here is that these two people outside are in the snow, and there's like the church inside with all of the abundance and everything happening, and 5 is the number of change. And so it's almost like on Monday and Tuesday we get really excited about this change, and then on Wednesday and Thursday we start freaking out about it. And it's like, oh my God, like those things that I've been asking for are actually happening. What am I gonna do? So be with that change and just be really loving to yourself. And what I always notice, and what I've been taught about the Five of Pentacles, is that these two beings, even though they're outside of whatever is supposedly looking really good in that church, they're together. And so there's this strong vibration on Wednesday and Thursday of being open and transparent and sharing your feelings and remembering that even if you're in this moment of cold, of going through whatever soul initiation is happening for you, that you're doing it together, that you're getting through that old collective junk that we're healing as a collective together. There's 2 people out here, two, and it's worth waiting for. So maybe you have some stuff to do out in the snow, but once you get inside that temple space together, it's gonna be so much more powerful. So as we move on to the weekend, the romance card for the weekend is soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. And if you haven't got the message by the weekend, hey, that person is here for you. And it's not just a idea in your mind. You're not making it up. No, this is in fact your soulmate. And there's twin flame relationships, there's soulmate relationships, there's sacred partnerships. People say all sorts of things about which one is which and all of that, but a soulmate is someone that you chose to incarnate with and is part of that soul tribe. So you've probably experienced many lifetimes with them and you've chosen to experience lessons together. But what I'm getting from this is that it's not so much of a karmic relationship. It's bigger than this. It's bigger than someone that's just supposed to come into your life and like move out. It's really about somebody that has some staying power. And so whether it feels good for you to call that a twin flame or just a romantic soulmate or a divine masculine or a divine feminine counterpart, don't get caught up in the terminology. Just trust that this person is here and they're meant for your life in this moment. And the mermaid card we have is waves of power. A surge of power, upswing in energy, accelerating movement. And I love that this week, that as you're opening to this romantic endeavor, whatever it is, and maybe it's not even a person, maybe it's just about you getting really passionate about a job or an opportunity or something that you really love. That could be it too. But whatever it is, this thing is a good thing. We might be fearful that if it's bringing up worries or it's causing us to create stronger boundaries in our life, that we need to just run from it. But no, this is actually a really good thing, and it's gonna be creating more power in your life, and it's gonna be making you feel better. It's gonna be making you come back to that 0-point calibration, as Kaya Ra calls it in the Sophia Code cosmology, where all of those pieces start to come back together and we become present in this moment and we become our whole selves. So it's really about coming back to your authentic self through the mirror of whatever this partnership is in your life right now. And the tarot card for the weekend is the 3 of Wands. So Wands is all about passion and action, and this is a card that really represents like a good business venture or a good romantic venture. Like, trust it. Like, whatever's happening, there's good things coming. And the message of 3 is again saying that there's this third thing that's being created. There's you, and then there's that being, and then there's the partnership that's being created between both of you. And another thing that comes up with a sacred partnership or soulmate relationships is that it's not even just about the 2 of you having a loving relationship, because that's awesome, that's great, but it's bigger than that. We came here to the earth plane to fulfill some sort of divine mission, and in order to do that, we have to be connected sometimes with another being that can help us fulfill that mission in a good way. And so this is almost saying that like this third thing that's being created through the relationship is really beneficial to the universe in some way. So whether you're creating some sort of project together, or even just you're creating a vibration together of positive energy and positive interactions between the 2 of you, that's already contributing to higher consciousness for all beings, because it's almost like the more of this energy, this love energy that starts to pour out, it's going into the hearts and minds of people, and they'll just start to spontaneously begin to awaken to the remembering that only love is real. So it's gonna be an amazing week. Oh yeah, we have a bonus card from the Mermaids. soul cage. I love this. Rescue, escape from captivity and restriction. So on a personal level, this week is really about rescuing ourselves from those traps that we've had of self-sabotage, of getting in our own way by feeling that we can't have what it is that we want to have, or being fearful that if we do have it, that it's not going to last, and just letting that go. And then on another level, in partnerships, this is really about being able to bring that other person up to their highest level. And we don't do that by trying to fix someone. We do that by standing in our own power and seeing the love in them by reflecting our own self-love and witnessing with compassion, because projections are gonna come up, but if we can see through the projections of others with compassion and remember that everyone is our mirror and that we can love those people and we can love ourselves and we can forgive ourselves because we're all doing the best that we can, that's how we rescue people. We don't have to do anything other than just be love and that compassionate observer of what's happening, and forgive ourselves and forgive the whole human condition, because for thousands of years, for eons, oops, we forgot that only love is real and we decided to create all of this chaos, and oh, we don't have to do that anymore. So every person that is starting to click, have that light get turned on, that hey, like, we can create what we want to create through love and through beauty and through joy and through passion and through just opening up to the sweetness of life rather than having to learn through suffering. That's where we create that powerful shift. So the Mermaid Empowerment card that I have for this week, from my deck that I'm creating with my amazing soul sister, Lizzie Luna, who's a breathtaking, amazing visionary artist. This is our card creation, and this is a total prototype, so the card style and design may change, so stay tuned for that, but the message itself is good. And the message here is I color my world with beauty and grace, and so that goes perfectly in alignment with this pink flame energy of learning through love and learning through beauty. And so the mermaid mantra this week is, I am the artist of my fairy tale life. So let's say this 3 times to seal the mermaid empowerment in. Repeat after me. I am the artist of my fairy tale life. I am the artist of my fairy tale life. I am the artist of my fairy tale life. Remember that you're creating this, and you can choose to create through fear, or you can choose to create through love by remembering every moment that you are in control and you're co-creating with Sophia God, the power of all that is within all, whose prayer for you is to prosper in all ways. So the more that we can remember that we are loved and that we are held and that we're supported and that we matter, the easier it's going to be to call in those things that we want and create that fairy tale life. So this week is all about creating a fresh start. What is it going to be? How are you going to create your fairy tale life this week? Share with me below in the comments, and let's get the conversation started. So that is this week's Mermaid Oracle Message. If you're interested in getting more information about the services that I offer, please visit my website at meaganmermaid.com. And until next time, angel wishes and mermaid kisses. Love you all, mermaids and mermen. Have a wonderful week.